There's like multiple.
Okay, I think we're all live. We shared to the group, so I think we're in the group now.
Are you? Okay.
How are you ladies today?
Oh, I see.
Fine.
You're all okay? Tammy, if you just let us know what you think, that'd be great.
Yeah, I see. Pin to top. We're good.
Oh, great. Well, hi everyone. We're here today on a very sad, reflective day for all of us. 12th anniversary of Michael passing, and we just thought it'd be a nice time to reflect on what's going on right now in terms of his living legacy. We're not going to talk about so much the music tonight, but about his humanitarian legacy, his heart, all the things that he taught us by doing, through his example, right through his life, and looking at the projects that are going on today in the world, all around the world, inspired by him. So that's what we want to kind of put some spotlight on those projects tonight. Tammy, would you like
so Sherry's with us today, which is amazing. So Sherry, you've been a Michael Jackson fan forever. I don't know when it started, but I know you're around for the Jackson 5. And what point of your fan journey did you learn about Michael's humanitarian efforts?
Okay, I'm going to take you way back to 1972. I actually attended a Save the Children concert with my family in Chicago. I was 7 years old, so at that time I didn't really understand what Save the Children meant. I had to ask my mom, what's wrong with the children? What's going on? What's happening? And she explained to me that Save the Children was a charity that helped underprivileged children, and they raised money. And I asked her what underprivileged was, because I didn't understand that either. And she said that means that they were poor. They may not have had food or clothing or a house or a home to stay in. And I, at 7, didn't realize other children experienced that, because I had been given that all my life. I was blessed at that time and still am. And so I asked her, Michael Jackson is here at this concert. And she said, yes. And I said, does that mean he's here to help save the children? And she said, yes. And him and his brothers were performing with other musical acts at that concert. And I was actually there to see it. So there's going to be a link in this section that shows Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 in their medley at Save the Children. So
Well, Sherry, we're going to try and show everybody a bit of that. We're going to try use our technology. Right now, we're going to give it a go.
In regards to charity.
Yeah, this is Sherry's in the crowd somewhere. How amazing is this? Let's try this. Let's see if we can get this working.
Oh, wow. This is exciting.
Okay. So we want to say we will thank all the people who put this on YouTube when we finish.
We're about to introduce our perfect examples.
Can you guys hear that?
Young people who have been saved and who are willing to do everything they can to help save others. They come to us here at Expo 72, riding the crest of a string of smash recordings that seems to stretch into infinity. Let's all stand and welcome Michael, Marlon, Joe, Big Jackie, Mighty Chocolate Pie.
please let me. Oh, Lord, let me go. Baby, now it's not please do this all. Yes, I do now. Ooh, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You were there.
Yes,
Wow.
I was there. I was there, and it was so exciting. I do remember being there. But it was that moment when my mother told me about underprivileged children and what Jackson 5 were doing. It put a seed in my mind that this is special. You know, they care about kids. So, and Michael cares about kids. So that's when it started. And I'll fast forward to 1984 when I was 18 years old. The Victory Tour was being established. That's where Michael and all his brothers, including Jermaine, got back together to have a tour. And there was a ticket situation that happened where it wasn't fair. They were making people buy 4 tickets, and it was like in a lottery or something like that, where you may not even be able to win the ticket, even though you purchased the ticket.
Mm.
And so Michael said that's not fair. And I later read, I think in his book, that he was against that type of process, but he was outvoted by the brothers and his father. So they went forward with that. And he found out that, I mean, he received some fan letters because fans were upset about that. And he received a letter from a little girl who had saved her allowance and wanted to come to the Jackson 5 concert, the Victory concert, and she couldn't do it because she didn't have the money to buy 3 more tickets. So he put a stop to that. And he held a press conference and he told them that this is not going to happen this way. Every fan who buys a ticket needs to see us perform. So he changed that. And at the very end of his speech, he said, I'm going to donate all of my proceeds from this tour to charity.
Yeah.
And at 18 years old, I knew that was a lot of money.
This t-shirt's from the Victory Tour. I didn't go,
yes,
but it was from Canada, so I just had to buy one. I wasn't able to go. I was too young.
Yes. So that right there confirmed that he had a heart of gold. And it was amazing to me. You
want us to show that clip now if we can? Just for everybody? Yes. Great. Thank you. All right. Let's have a go at this.
So it's Don King, that the concert promoter, had made up that lottery, I believe.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Morning. As you know, we have all the Jacksons here: Randy, Tito, Marlon, and Michael. All right. Michael has a statement that he'd like to read at this time. Michael?
Have silence for a minute, please. A lot of people are having trouble getting tickets. The other day, I got a letter from a fan. Drop me a little down. Okay. Are you sure? A lot of people are having trouble getting tickets. The other day, I got a letter from a fan in Texas named Donna Jones. She's been saving her money from odd jobs to buy tickets. But with the tour system, she'd have to buy 4 tickets, and she couldn't afford that. So we've asked our promoter to work out a new way of distributing tickets, a way that no longer requires a money owed. I've asked our promoter to end the mail order ticket system as soon as possible so that no one will pay money unless they get a ticket. Finally, and most importantly, there's something else I am going to announce today. I want you to know that I've decided to donate all my money I make from the performance to charity. There will be further press release released in the next 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
What charity? What charity will you donate it to?
Yes. The charities have not been decided yet. There are a few that are in consideration. We'll further that later on with further details.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Let me just try. Stop screen. There we go. Wow.
And this is just coming from the thriller mania and his success there. And he was really doing the Victory Tour as a favor, really, to help, you know, his brothers and his family with going on that tour.
Right.
It is amazing. I wish I would have saw it live, but it was in a different they didn't come to my province then, and I was 11, I think. So I didn't get to go, but that's okay. I'll live vicariously through you, Sherry. This is amazing.
That's fine. Come along. You know,
yeah, it was
memory lane, so that's great. But at that day, I did notice. I knew Michael was a wonderful entertainer, but I found out that day he was a more wonderful man. You know, that heart to give all of his proceeds, millions of dollars, to charity. And that's when I really realized he was a true humanitarian. So that's my experience.
Aw. Yeah, I think I was, I'm trying to think, I didn't really know about that stuff until We Are the World. That's when I first heard of anything. And again, I just like you, I didn't really understand. You see commercials with African children that are starving, and you don't really understand that.
Yeah.
So you see the commercials, and I knew that he did that, but I still didn't understand it. So I don't think that still. But after years of when you study him, you understand how he's been a humanitarian since he was a little kid, really. Since he was he was like 8 years old buying bubblegum and pops for his community children to give away, with his allowance, and so it's special. It's always been that.
Yes.
It's real special, isn't it?
Yeah.
We better give some shout out credits to the video producers that we just shared. So we got the first clip of the Save the Children concert was the video was reeling in the years, but it's shown on the Jackson 5 Things channel, which the book club are subscribed to. So we love them there. So thank you for that. And then the next clip, which showed the press conference for the victory ticket fiasco, was from our good friend Paul Dwyer, humanitarian, the real Michael Jackson YouTube channel, which we are also subscribed to.
Yes.
Both really great channels to get involved in and subscribe if you have a YouTube account. So thank you, Sherry. Thank you for sharing those insights. It's really great to hear from someone who's living those days, and saw Michael's heart. We recognized his heart right there. A child to a child. That's beautiful. It's really beautiful. For me, it was Earth Song. That's when I was 14, and Earth Song was my, the big song. It was #1 in the UK, and he did the Brit Awards in early '96, and it blew my brother and our minds. He was the only kind of music out there that was speaking our language, about singing about things that were important to us. And then there was They Don't Care About Us just soon after. So we had a really good run of Michael being a humanitarian through his songs, to grow up with a history album. We were really blessed, and he was such a good influence on us, and not just the big fans, even friends at school, peers. Everybody was hearing those messages, and he was singing about the environment in the 1990s, and now we have Greta Thunberg and all that stuff, and he's ahead of his times.
Mm-hmm. Well, even Ronald Reagan, he was promoting no drinking and driving, and they ran the commercials that Michael also allowed them to use the Beat It video the Beat It video song for the commercial Don't Drink and Drive, and they show that accident and the skeleton at the end, and so that was also part of just doing it for free, just to spread the word.
Yeah, it's really cool. shall we start to have a look at some of these amazing projects that are going on in 2021?
Yeah.
And that's
Together tonight, so she's done most of these videos for us. So thank you.
well, that's all right. We've just been doing some research over the last couple of weeks, trying to get in contact with as many as we can. We've managed to have interviews with 4, but we're going to talk about 6 tonight, and hopefully also talk about Paul Dwyer's book, just in case some new fans don't know about it, so they can find out all about Michael's work in his lifetime. So we'll talk about that as well. Okay, thank you for those people who are giving us technical feedback to tell us that the videos worked all right. It was a bit nerve-wracking for us because we'd not mixed up the video thing before on any of our live streams. So thank you for that. It's very kind. Hopefully technology will be on our side over the next hour or so. Okay, so the first interview that we've done is with Sebastian, who is one of the key people behind MJ Vibe. What do you girls know about MJ Vibe? Tell us what you know about MJ Vibe.
Are you talking? Oh, sorry.
Tell me.
Well, it's a huge fan site.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Sherry,
Yes.
Sherry, you do some book review work with them.
Reviews. I we've had chats with Sebastian, and I know that they have all kinds of articles and magazines published and all kinds of things for highlighting MJJ, like collectors, and it's like every news it goes there first. Any MJ news goes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Love them.
Yeah, Sherry, you've been working on book reviews with Sebastian, haven't you?
Yes.
Building up a bit of a bank.
Yes, they have been kind enough to feature some of our MJ member book reviews every month. I think we're going on 6 months now. Every month we select a book and members submit reviews, and then we submit the winning review to MJ Vibe, and they get it on their website as soon as possible. And it's been great working with them. I'm very happy that they've allowed us to do this to help us spread the word about MJ, Michael Jackson Book Club. So they're awesome.
Yeah.
We're honored. We also highlight, I think, MJ data charts, right? Like they have a couple, just to spread Michael Jackson's, the efforts of other groups. So yeah, that's amazing. It's so just charitable in that way that they feature us, including whether I think it's data charts and in the French collector. Sorry, the collector. Can't remember.
Yeah, I know. Her clock? Something. Yeah, I know what you mean. Anyway, MJ Vibe is like such an institution in the Michael Jackson fan community, and we're all super grateful and big fans of them, aren't we? So this video is Sebastian talking to me about what the MJ Living Legacy project is. It's a once a year thing, and I'm going to just hand over to the interview now for him to tell us. So, okay, here goes. Let's see if this works. Hello, Sebastian.
Hello.
Thank you for being here with us.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you. So you work for MJ Vibe. Everyone knows MJ Vibe. So thank you, first of all, for all the wonderful news and interactivity and advocacy that MJ Vibe does for the fan community. We love you at the book club. So thanks.
Thank you. And it's nice to have the book club there. I think it gives something else to the fans visiting the website.
Thank you. That's really kind of you. We're humbled. So thank you for coming today to talk to us about a really special project that contributes to Michael Jackson's humanitarian living legacy, and that is the MJ Living Legacy Project. Would you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I mean, carry on Michael's legacy is a bit of big words, but yeah, it all started when Michael passed away, unfortunately, on June 25th. And we wanted to remember Michael on that anniversary every year. But we wanted to do something simple and something a bit more private, and just in a small group of friends joining together. So we used to meet in parks and looking at, we imagine our own little Neverlands inside our heads, and like walking through the trees and plants and flower pots, and we used to, at the end, near the time of death, release some Chinese lanterns, and but we found out that was actually polluting and damaging some phones and floors. So we actually stopped that, and we come up with the idea to ask fans to, on June 25th, to just plant something, tree, or buy a plant for your flat, or just put a pot of a few flowers outside your balconies. So that's how it come up. To actually remember Michael, but also follow up on his message to make a difference. And what the best way to actually plant a tree when thousands of trees around the world have been cut every second. And if we can all do that and change that balance, we might actually give our planet a bit of a time to breathe.
Wow, that's really inspiring. And you're right. Michael's been warning us about the rainforest. It always sticks in my mind when he did Earth Song at the Brit Awards in '96, and he talked about this, rainforest the size of 6 football fields, and he was giving us all these stats. I was just a teenager then, and those words that he gave us, that has stuck with me all my life. So every time I plant something, I think, yes, plants and trees are the lungs of the earth, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's a really simple idea. It's green activism. You're actually doing something, putting your memory, your grief, your sadness, and also our thanks to Michael for what he's given to our lives into something.
It is a chance of each individual to actually do something for the planet. I know it's a little thing. It's very little compared to the damage we actually, as human, we do into the planet. But if we all starting to do that on our own accord, we can actually reverse that. Not in a year, but through time, we can actually reverse that. Plus, it's amazing to see a tree you planted in 2010 and seeing grow and flourish and give even more. Like, the first tree we actually planted was an apple tree, and the number of apple on that tree, I think, is going to come up on the fall. And last year was like, I think it was nearly 100 apples around the tree. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's giving back to nature and back to life. And that's why the whole project is Living Legacy Project. So is the living part is planting a tree, or buying a flower, or planting or planting a pot of plants in your flat, is carry on the living part of what we're doing, but also give back to the message Michael gave us. We need to change and try to make our world a better place.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Is there any reason behind choosing an apple tree when you first did it?
Of course. I mean, Michael's surname was Applehead, so that was just because of that. I mean, since we planted different trees, last year was a palm tree. We visited. I love palm trees, and we went to LA, and all the palm trees around. I was inspired, and it's still attached to Michael in some ways. He was
Absolutely.
living in California. All this.
That LA vibe. Bring it back to Northern Europe.
I don't think that palm tree is going to be as high as the one I've seen in Hollywood, but
No.
who knows?
Who knows? You never know. So where are the trees planted that you planted?
So they're all in my garden. We're running out of place. So we're looking at different places. So we've got two gardens, one in the front, one in the back. So we still have the front to actually deal with. But there is some parks and around cities that allow you to plant if you ask for authorization.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's,
sorry.
that is so true. You can just
Yeah.
contact the council and ask. Yeah, and also
I mean, the fun part is actually to select the tree or the plant or the flower you want to do on that day. So on June 25th, we always go to a big tree, plants, flower shop, and we walk around for a few hours and select. Oh, Michael would love this, or oh, that remind me of Michael. Oh, these little flowers look like little angels, and therefore remind us of Michael. You know, there's that part of it is very touching, and selecting something alive and give him a home. You know, it's
like an adoption.
yeah, and you feel you're doing something good, and I think that's also something that I appreciate. You always like feel when you planted the tree and put a bit of water and you see it grow, you feel that you accomplished something for a good cause. But the best part of it is we don't ask people to give money or to participate. If they want to participate, great. And they just have to actually buy themselves their trees or their plants or their flowers and doing themselves in their own little house or flats in their own time. But June 25th is a very emotional day for all the fans, and I think some of us want to remember Michael in different ways. So that is one of the way to go if you want to be a bit of a more nature, green, and quiet time to actually remember and celebrate Michael.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And do you have a lot of people who participate sending you photographs of what they planted?
We see a lot of different plants, flowers, and anything really, but all over the place. I mean, we receive pictures from Australia, New Zealand, America. I think last year we had somebody sending us a picture from Japan.
Wow.
So it's growing. I mean, it's very slow. Plus, is nothing to gain. So it's just a project. If people want to go for it and do it, great. And for the others don't want to do it, there's no obligation there.
Yeah. So there's information on mjvibe.com.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And also there's a Facebook page for the event. So for the plant.
So the Facebook page was first created for people to actually share what they actually planted. We never post on June 25th. On June 25th, I'm actually switch off all devices, no internet, no phone whatsoever. So we post on the 26th. But people who want to post their pictures, they actually go on the Facebook group and just do it when they want.
Nice.
And then we found out that more information was needed for those who were worried about timing to plant a type of tree or a flower. So we put a bit more information on the website, especially if you want to request a park. Now, I didn't know you needed to request the park authorization to plant a tree. I thought it's free for all. Let's plant thousands of trees. So we put that. So we learn as we go. So we put all this information in. So I think it's been 6 years now. So we learn few tricks to actually, and we share that on MJ Vibe. I don't think the project needed a website for that. I think MJ Vibe is the perfect place to share information. So that's what we decided to do. I even got a Twitter account. I mean, I created a Twitter account. We've got like 3 or 4 posts a year. So don't get too excited about that one.
Oh, we'll check out the Twitter as well and do a couple of retweets. That's right. That's good. Okay. Well, thank you so much for letting us know about the project in a bit more detail. I'm sure there's lots of people in the book club who would love to get involved in that, and you know.
And you know what is very important for books, because books are made with trees. So if we can plant more trees, we can have more books.
I like this. Yeah, it's about paying back all those members that buy too many books or multiple copies of the same book. It's a bit of a
To be honest, we use a recycling paper at MJ Vibe. You know, we do books and magazines. We always use recycling paper, and it's so important for us to actually do our parts, because we offer in product, but also some of the books are so big that it's just crazy. So we decided to go the recycling way, and we're using printers that are greener. So you know, that printing industry can be very polluting, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we're using a paper that hasn't been treated. So if your book gets wet, it's ruined.
Oh no.
But at least it's green, right?
Yeah. At least you can be guilt-free.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Oh, right. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. And I look forward to seeing what you plant this year. And I'll send you my photograph too.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
You take
okay,
care.
thank you very much. Bye-bye now.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, Sebastian.
Yes.
Awesome. What a wonderful project, living legacy. And he loved trees. He had a thing for trees. He says he had a thing for trees. He talks about that in Earth Song.
The giving tree.
Yeah. Who's that one? The poet tree. I think there's another. Yeah, under the poet's tree. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy one too. I'm gonna buy one too, but I don't for my new lot. I can't plant it yet though. So I'm gonna try.
Right.
Keep it for a couple months. Just yeah.
Yeah, you have a big garden project next year, don't you?
Yeah, but the problem with the trees is I'll have to find out, because it's kind of by the water and there's beavers that are eating the trees right now, so I don't know how to plant a baby tree. Have the beavers eat it. Keep it inside so it's big.
Sherry, did you know about this plant a tree project before?
No, I did not know about it until I read your post in the book club a few days ago.
Oh yeah, last week. Yeah, it's a really nice idea. I actually didn't get a chance to do mine today because I thought, right, I'm going to do it tomorrow. So if anybody listening got really inspired then with Sebastian's project and all his stories, if you're thinking, oh no, it's too late, then join me tomorrow, because I'll be going to find my tree or my bush. I'll find a bush, or it doesn't have to be a tree. It can be anything. It can be a little. If you live in an apartment, you could get a little plant for your your balcony, or a cactus, whoever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, sunflowers. I usually buy sunflowers too.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's really nice. I did take part in this last year. No, the year before I planted one for Michael, and it's in the garden and it's really nice. It's lovely to go and see it. Yeah, it's a very serene spot. So, all right. So that's MJLL, Living Legacy, and I'm just gonna share this again for everybody to have a look, and you can just go to the Facebook now, have a little look. Maybe some people have been posting their pictures today.
Yeah.
All right. So should we talk about the second project?
Sure.
The second project that we are looking at, we're going to put a spotlight on today, is Michael Jackson's legacy. Ladies, what do you know so far about Michael Jackson's legacy?
I know a lot because I just I joined their about a year and a half ago. I noticed a post about Michael Jackson's legacy in the book club, and I had been looking for a foundation that represented Michael in charitable contributions. So I went to the website, and it's amazing the work that they have done over the last 10 years. I just felt a connection to that website, to that charitable organization, and I started donating. And it's been wonderful. I've been donating, and they had you're going to talk about it probably, the Everland Malawi project. I don't know if you're going to talk about that or not.
You talk about it. Yeah, you talk about it.
It's it just finished funding it. It's a 2-room building for children with disabilities in Malawi, and I participated in the entire fundraiser by contributing, donating to this cause, and I just think it is such an amazing project. They kept us updated on Facebook of every stage of the project, and when you finish the phase, they would let you know. They honor people or let people know and thank them on the Facebook page for donations. You know, they highlight people that do give of their money to help support their project. And I'm really excited now because they started building the actual building. And
Wow.
you can see your donation at work.
Mhm.
And watching it be constructed and knowing that I contributed to this amazing heartfelt project has just been amazing to me. It's been so impactful in my life. So I would advise everyone who's watching to go over to their website, look around and see all the great work they do in Michael's honor. It's amazing. I love it. So that's my
Oh yeah.
with
Thank you, Sherry. Tammy, do you want to add anything about MJ legacy?
Well, they're amazing. I know that Dee Pfeiffer is the founder, I believe, of it. I know Siren, she's the artist for MJ Legacy, and her artwork is beautiful. And I think that part of that was, just working for them. And it's beautiful. Like, what else would Michael Jackson wants? That's what he would want, is especially to help children in Malawi and to build schools or hospital rooms or whatever, anything that they're involved in. And so they've been around for a long time.
Yeah, that's right. They've been over a decade, and there's such a list of things they've been involved in: 2 children's homes in Haiti and Liberia, a preschool, a playground. And those are things that Michael used to do on tour. He would build a playground in an orphanage. He would do like practical, tangible things that would improve people's actual day-to-day life. And they're following in his footsteps. There's an acre. Oh, sorry, say that again.
Oh, sorry, that was just the Elephant Foundation, the Horse Foundation, all these animal sponsored projects. It's amazing.
Right. So should we see the interview?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. Yes, definitely.
Let's do this. Okay. So we talked to Siren, who was the video representative for the interview. So let's see how it goes. Hi, Siren. How are you?
How are you?
Siren.
Yeah, good. Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
So you're here to talk to us about Michael Jackson's legacy, the charity, MJL. So first off, could you tell us what it is, what it does, its mission, and its work?
Yeah, for sure. Michael Jackson's legacy is it's all about continuing Michael's legacy of love. So basically began as a platform to mobilize us all as fans and the world, and bring us together in Michael's name and continue his work of love, specifically directed towards children. But we also do projects that help animals and the environment as well. So
So all of the things that were close to Michael's heart.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
what is your role, and how did you get involved? Was it Michael's charity or both that motivates you?
Well, I'm their artist, and so I do artwork for their projects for social media and advertising to try to get the word out there. And yeah, like the thing that I love about MJL is that they work in Michael's name. Every project they do, Michael goes with it. If Michael can't go with it, they don't do the project. And that to me is the most important thing, because that was what his life was all about. So I think it's, and that's missing from his story a lot of times. So I think it's super important for us to keep his name with it and make sure that people know that he was a humanitarian and where his heart was with children, especially.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so I don't do it very often. They're really kind to me. But when there's big projects, I try and create something that will reflect the spirit of the project. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did Michael Jackson's legacy begin? What's the story? How long has it been running? That sort of thing.
When Michael passed away in 2009, because there was so much heartbreak, our founding director, Dee Pfeiffer, she has been a follower of Michael's for her whole life, basically. And so she was, of course, devastated when Michael was gone. And she wanted to take that tragedy and use it to do something beautiful in his name. And so, like a healing for us as well, because, to be able to give something back for all the work that Michael did for the planet, and to continue to know that his important work is continuing through us. So his inspiration and his reason for everything he did. So that's how that began. She said to her, it really began with Michael's quote, "Help me help the children," which was really the only thing he ever asked for. And so that was her motivation, and that's what we're all about. So.
How do you see Michael Jackson legacy continuing Michael's humanitarian work and honoring his legacy?
Well, we just finished funding our latest project, which is Everland Malawi. And so that will be a 2-classroom school for special needs children. And so this is a first for special needs children. Children with special needs in Malawi are often ostracized. They don't get help. And so it's very needed. And so we've just been able to complete the funding for that. If you check out our social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you can see the photos of the progress. They've started building now. The walls are starting to come up. The bricks are being laid. So we're starting to see it come to life. So that's our near future. And we have an ongoing project, which is Heal the World, Heal, HEEL, which is providing shoes, growing shoes. So they're shoes that can adjust as the child grows, to children actually all over the world. So right now, I think we just completed one for the Dominican Republic, which is the second one for Dominican, and so those will be distributed, I believe, in August with Jeanette. So those are things that are happening right now. Not you.
I think I muted my mic then. Sorry. I was just saying it's not me. It's a different Jeanette, isn't it? The Jeanette that works here, the Heal Project. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jeanette is based in the Dominican, so she's our shoe agent for us there. But we've also distributed shoes in many different places all over the world. You can, if you go to our website, you will find a link there, or not a link, a page there that will show you all of the different locations where Heal the World has helped the children. And their shoes come in the beautiful little drawstring bag with Michael on it, and so of course he goes with them, and where they remember wear those shoes, how we were inspired to bring those shoes to them.
That's amazing. That's such a touching story, isn't it? But and the thing is, that really is an example, like Tammy was asking about how it will continue his humanitarian legacy, because a new generation, you know, the children who are wearing the shoes, receiving the bags, they're gonna see Michael's face and see, you know, the gift, the love that comes with the gift, and the sense of community that obviously, you know, brings everybody together. They're going to see that, and that's sometimes that's going to be the first introduction they have to Michael Jackson. It's not going to be the Thriller dance and all those, you know, Western ideas of Michael Jackson, you know, kind of the pop stuff. It's going to be the kindness, the simple act of giving.
Wouldn't that be amazing if that was the first thing we thought of when we thought of Michael?
That, yeah,
generation.
Yeah,
that's just beautiful. Wow, gosh. Well, how can our book club members get involved with this wonderful charity? How can they support? And not just in terms of, you know, there are people who can offer financial support, but sometimes people are not in that position in their life. You know, they could be students, they could be teenagers. How can we get involved in all the different kinds of ways?
Yeah, even the smallest donation, even $1, you know, is so appreciated. But for those who aren't able to donate, there's multiple ways. Like first of all, we'd love it if you liked and shared our social media posts. The more people that see them, you know, the more MJL is known, and so we're a tiny little group, but we get great things done, and so the more we're out there, the more we can do. So if we can just get those social media posts everywhere, you know, that would be a huge help. But besides that, we're always looking for volunteers who want to help out with social media, who want to do anything, anybody who's good with graphics, you know, to help us get the word out. We have sponsored walks. You can create a sponsored walk of your own, even if it's just you. There doesn't have to be a big group. Just get your friends, family, post online, get your online friends to sponsor you and join in with those. Easy to do, and no financial obligation to yourself. Jam jars is another great way, which is just collecting your small change, and then once a year we count our change and send that in, and that's actually quite successful. I think we're doing. I think they start to cash in jam jars. We start to count our change middle of July to the end of July. So that's coming up right away. If you have a change jar in your house and you want to join in, it's not too late. If you go to our website, there's a tab that says Get Involved. And so you can check out there the projects that are happening and how to keep involved. Also, shoe agents. We're always looking for people who are willing to distribute shoes in their area to poverty-stricken children. So.
Wow, so many different ways. So many different ways. That's really cool. Thank you.
you've been touched a little bit before, but upcoming projects. Are there any upcoming projects, partnerships that we should look out for? You just mentioned.
Well, right now we're working in partnership with Starfish Malawi, who are a charity that is helping the children in Malawi. They've done great things, and they are working with us for building Everland Malawi, the children's home or the children's classroom for special needs children. So that's happening right now. So you can watch it being built via our social networking, and also we've done past projects with them as well. We have a fruit orchard that was planted there with partnership with them, which is the Earth Child Project. And also Gift a Desk, Get a Smile. So we provided desks for the children in the classroom who were learning while sitting on the floor. And also we sent them copies of Smile Effect, which is the book by Brenda Jenkins, which is a story about Michael and how he inspires us even today. So other than the watching the amazing Everland Malawi coming to life, that's our most exciting thing that's happening right now, and as I said, the ongoing shoe drives that are continuing. So
it's very busy and very exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Checking in. There's always something going on.
Yeah, and one thing I remember finding out about was especially for the British and the Northern European fans that could probably make the journey is Michael's Acre.
Yes.
You know about Michael's Acre?
Yes, there's an acre of land dedicated to Michael, as along with a bench that has a plaque on it with his name. So it's just a kind of nice, peaceful spot where you can go and remember Michael and be in nature. So peaceful. Have you been there?
Not yet, but because I've found out about it. So if there's any British fans want to do a little road trip down to Kent, because it's in the southeast in Kent, I'll be up for it. It looks fantastic, and it's so wonderful that woodland is preserved. The trees are, they're not going anywhere in Michael's name again, which is beautiful.
That's right.
I think that was one of the earliest projects, wasn't it?
I'd love to see some pictures if you go. So make sure you send them so we can post them. We can post
Oh
them.
yeah, that'd be so amazing. It'd be an honor to do that. Yeah, for sure. Oh well, thank you so much for joining us and telling us a bit more, so we can share that with our members. And I hope that all the members watching will go and check out the website. We're going to put all the web links and the social media links up on the book club for the 25th. So hopefully everybody will be able to go and check it out for themselves and see the amazing work that everybody does. And thank you to all of you, the trustees of the charity, for doing that, being the trailblazers. And we were all so touched and honored to be part of. You're doing that. You're leading on that, and that's incredible. So thank you.
Yeah, without people that are supporting MJL, it wouldn't exist. So it's over to everybody who contributes in any way that they're contributing. I just wanted to say it's MJL's 10th birthday on August 7th. So,
wow.
Yeah, so that's exciting. So 10 years. This will be our 10th.
Oh, that's something. Yeah. Happy birthday, MJL. That's incredible.
Exciting. So if you if you want to just come to our website, it's michaeljacksonslegacy.org. You can check out the projects that are going on now and upcoming and past, and get some ideas of how you can participate. We would love that. And this feels like a different year for Michael. So I feel it feels promising, and we have lots of work to do for him. So get back on track.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Siren. It's been an honor to speak with you. Lovely
Thank
to
you
catch
so
up
much.
again. Okay, goodbye. See you soon.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, wow. So what do you think of that?
Oh, Michael Jackson legacy is amazing.
I love it.
That's pretty cool, huh?
They also have a sponsored school bag project in Sri Lanka, right? There's some sort of
Yeah.
bag project with Michael's name on there. It's always children related.
Yeah. It's
Beautiful.
just, yeah. So these are the links. You know, if everybody watching this live stream and those who are going to watch it afterwards, if just everybody did something, either share posts, retweet, subscribe to the YouTube channel, donate if you can, volunteer in another way, just get in touch with the team. And you know, look at the difference we can make. Look at the difference they've made already in 10 years, all those amazing projects. You know, there are 3,000 members of our book club. Even if 10% of those members shared a tweet, can you imagine what we could do?
Right.
Let's do it.
Let's
do it.
So true.
Yeah. Okay, so our next project that we are going to talk about is Heal the World Miracle Community Organization. Now, this organization is, I'm just checking I'm removing the right video. Little pause. This organization is based in Uganda, and it's a different kind of organization. It's very interesting because it's grassroots, and what I mean by that is that it's completely from the community itself, but at the same time, it's inspired by Michael, which is just such a good illustration of his impact around the world. You know, that this village in Uganda has a person in it who wants to, you know, do something for their community, the community they've grown up in, and make a big difference. And Michael, you know, from Gary, Indiana, you know, who was, I think, already 40 something or in his late 30s when this young man we're going to meet in a minute was born. I think he was born in 1996.
Wow.
You know, incredible young man. You know, and Michael is his inspiration. So, hello, Happy. Hello, pleased to see you. Thank you for being here.
Nice to see you too. It is my pleasure.
I'll connect. It's our honor. Thank you for being part of this. Would you like to say anything to begin?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank God for the gift of life He has given to us all. And also, I want to comfort all those ones who have lost their beloved ones due to COVID-19, because that's the thing which is running every time. But we take our comfort to all those people.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And in these grave times, it is good to have these uplifting meetings together across the globe. So, to keep us with faith. Can you tell us about Heal the World Miracle Organization, please?
Okay. HWMCO, it stands for Heal the World Miracle Community Organization, and it is the power of children, joy, peace, and love, which is an independent grassroots registered charity organization, mainly founded to create and build a better future for the needy, vulnerable children, and also defending their rights to have a honest living. That's the main issue about HWMCO, the World Health Organization.
That's a very worthy cause, and that's very inspiring to hear. And how did it begin? Are you the founder?
Yeah, my role, I'm the founder and the chairperson of the World Health Organization. And
So it was
I
your
was
idea?
involved since my childhood.
Since your childhood?
Since my childhood, and because this is my calling. Yeah, it is my calling, and the main people who motivated me, it was firstly the love. First love, then secondly it was charity, then thirdly it was Michael Jackson. So all of them, they contributed a lot towards Heal the World Miracle Community Organization.
Wow. And can you tell us about your history, your link to Michael Jackson?
Okay, first of all, HWMCO, Heal the World Miracle Community Organization, it began with me. So due to tremendous difficulties in life which I passed through when I was still young, that means I had a huge responsibility of my family. So I could go and gather plastic bottles, metallic metals, these ones which are old. Then I could also fetch firewood, mainly to get some little money to take the responsibility of my family. So and I used also to dance little, dancing little. But then later I said, why can't I use my talent of dancing? Then I take it to the street. So that idea came to me. So the first time it was, I felt good, but I was like, how can I start dancing on the street? Then later, with many people talking about good musicians, Michael Jackson's name came out. So when it came out, I was like, Michael Jackson. I was so happy to hear about that name. So I went and I researched about little about Michael Jackson, but my main aim was mainly focused on the dancing. Yeah, so I learned some dancing skills, some dancing styles of Michael Jackson. Then later I said, let me also show this to the outside world. Then my first performance, it was at the National Theatre. So we went there, then I danced. So they said, this little boy, he can dance like Michael. So I was so happy to hear that. Then I came back and I researched more about Michael Jackson. So I saw Michael Jackson had a good loving. By then I was 7 years old. Yeah. So I said, I have at least to add more towards his dancing, because I see many people are talking about Michael, something like that. So I went back, I made some little research again, mainly towards him. So I found out that Michael was really a good person. He was a caring person, a loving, and also with a beautiful and bright smile. So and by then my name was Happy. So I was like, I'm going to make it. Yeah, I'm happy. And also Michael had that fantastic smile. So the next day I went and I danced on the street. So when I was dancing, they gave me some money. And that was the first money which I received through dancing on the street. So I was extremely happy. Then I went back home. I told my mom, see what I have got. So everyone was happy. But the first donation which I received from dancing on the street and using Michael Jackson's dancing style, I donated that money to a little child, a little girl. There was a child who had pneumonia. And this time she's there, she's grown up, yeah. So I supported that little child.
Wow.
And the family appreciated. Then I went back and I said, Michael Jackson, really, I want to do something beyond this. So from the love which Michael Jackson had, the happiness, the smile, the caring heart, it gave birth to HWMCO, that is Heal the World Miracle Community Organization. But by then also I had the love and the passion to help. And also I loved helping. So all those, they contributed a lot towards the organization. So it came as Heal the World Miracle Community Organization. But the main focus there, it is love, it is joy, it is also honoring Michael Jackson, because he is part of my life and is part of what I'm doing. So that was a brief history.
That's beautiful story.
It is my calling. And really I'm so happy. I'm so happy to do this.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that wonderful story. It's very inspiring and humbling too. Can you tell us about some of the work that Heal the World Community Miracle Organization is doing right now?
Yeah, right now we are conducting some small lessons. Since this pandemic came, it affected us very much, but we are conducting some lessons towards the children, and also we are having some projects, because you see our main theme is concerning about the good health, children to have good health. And right now there is a project which we are having. It is mainly to build and construct a toilet. A toilet for the children? Yeah.
A toilet block?
Mainly it is about health.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Is it a toilet block?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
It is a toilet. Yeah, it is a pit latrine toilet block. Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly for health and sanitation. Yeah, that's the main one. But the main goal one, it is building Neverland. That's the main one, the building of Neverland. But it has sub projects. Now the first one is the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Then when it is done, we are going to go to the MJ, Michael Jackson's tailoring, because everything I do, it is to honor Michael Jackson. Because without him, I would not also been here, because he inspired me a lot. So there is also MJ tailoring, mainly focused on the girls. Yeah, so that will be our second project. But the first one is the toilet block.
Toilet block, amazing. And how can members of the book club help and contribute to this wonderful project?
Okay, that's really a beautiful question. Towards contributing, we have many ways. First, there is the one which is on our website, which is www.hwmco.org. So it has all information about the organization and how also to donate towards a certain cause. But also we have also a fundraising page, which is under building of Neverland. Also that one. So both ways it can be made out. Yeah.
Okay. And is there a Facebook page for people to find?
Towards Facebook, no, but there is a fundraising a PayPal fundraising page where they can donate their money.
We will put all the links
directed to our website.
Yes, what we will do with this broadcast is we will put the links to the website in the book club along with this broadcast for people to find them. And you are a member of the book club, yes? Are you a member of the book club?
Yeah, yes, I'm a member of the book club.
So people can come and talk to you about this also in the book club.
Yeah, they can talk to me, because for me, I'm open in everything I do.
Yeah.
And the openness and the loving what I do is the one which has made me also moving. So for me, I'm free and I welcome everyone. And also there is a question which you asked me about those ones who cannot, those ones who want to do something, but they can't, who want to do something also without also maybe donating something like that. You see,
Yes, for those
Heal the World
cannot.
Miracle Community Organization. Yeah, for those ones. So
Yes.
Heal the World Miracle Community Organization. It is for everyone. It is for everyone who understands humanity, equality, and charity. Mainly for everyone. So all of them are welcome, as long as we can impact and change many children's lives, and also touch also other people's lives. That's the main mission mainly. At least we do something which can uplift the humanity and the equality and the charity, and mainly focused on also love and to spread Michael's message of love.
Of course, and through social media, members that maybe cannot afford to donate yet, maybe they are young people, they can spread the word, they can like the posts, they can share all the good work that is going on. That's great. And
they can share, they can, but
yes, go on.
Pardon?
You talk.
But also they can also participate. Yeah, also they can also participate. Yeah, they can become also members of HWM. So because it's for everyone, as long as you promote the love, you have the humanity in you, and you love what you are doing. It's about spreading love. So you can also become a member of HWMCO. Then we do something beautiful. So it is
that
free
sounds
for
wonderful.
everyone.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, and finally, last question: what news is coming up in the next couple of months that we can expect from the organization? You're building the toilet block. When do you expect this to be finished? Maybe.
No, on my side, as long as the available funds which are needed to put that block is done, we have it. Then it can take 1 month to be completed. And the good news also, because the good news also, because of what I'm doing this side, some locals have come out. They want also to join hands and efforts to contribute something, like maybe digging the pit, arranging, yeah, something like that. And it has made me also very happy. So also the efforts to the locals, also they are involved, and which I'm happy of. So like the local people we are with.
Yes.
Yeah, they love the project, and they love they love what I'm doing. So they also willing to join the effort of making that in progress, and the children have the children have the love and the joy, because it's about love and joy, and also a good health towards them.
That's amazing. That's really good that you're getting that local community help. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so how much more money is needed for the toilet block?
Yeah, right now on my side, maybe I'll talk with the engineers which are going to make that. Then because they were in the process of arranging each and everything, towards the block, So I want to first get the estimates from the engineers, then we see the way forward.
Yeah. So we can find out on the
The
website.
actual things and the actual thing.
Yeah. Okay. We find out on the website. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we hope on the 25th of June we'll be broadcasting this, and join us live on that day, and we can watch together, and you can chat to people who are interested in supporting the organization going forward. That would be great.
It is my pleasure. But also, maybe my last message.
Yes.
Also, my last message. I really appreciate the good work you are all doing with your team, and also for choosing and selecting HWMC or Yield Wamina Community Organization part of your work which you are conducting. And also the children are really extremely happy because I chose this 14th because the children were the ones saying, I want you to make the video on 14th, something like that. So at least I have fulfilled the wish of the children.
That's wonderful.
I pray to God that, and I pray to God that He protects us and He guides us in everything we are doing.
That's wonderful.
And also, I want to, and also want to send a message to all our fans, also the people outside there, to take care of themselves, to protect themselves, and as we build the future of the children, as well as the future which is coming soon, something like that.
It's wonderful. Thank you for all those. We wish you all the best, all the luck in the world with the projects, and we will be checking in with you for updates to see how you're getting on.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Goodbye now.
Yeah, have a blessed day.
Goodbye, Happy. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
What an amazing man.
How like water projects and the toilet block project. They're just looking for, wow, that just blows my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah.
Michael would be pretty proud of that, I think.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just pretty incredible. So, they're building a toilet block. The engineer is letting Happy know, what the cost is going to be to finish it. We have 3,000 book club members. If just even a few of us, contribute and try and get that block built, look what that will do for sanitation. We've all learned huge lessons in about kind of cleanliness, sanitation over the last 2 years with COVID. We are so lucky in Western countries. Think about how the government is insisting there's antibacterial, all these different precautions, and to be able to provide something as basic as a toilet block for children, it doesn't need explaining, does it? It's just, it's what we should be doing.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just so moved by this story. Just little boy that was touched by Michael Jackson, and this is continuing his efforts, and this is what he's done by himself. That's amazing.
Yeah. 7 years old in the National Theatre dancing like Michael.
That's amazing. It's such I just can't even comprehend it really. That's a long time. How many years is that? He's 20 years he's been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost.
And And there's a great link, actually, I'm just thinking now, with Brenda Jenkins' book, Smile Effect, because when he was 7 years old, the two things that he knew about Michael Jackson were he loved the dancing and Michael had a big, bright smile. That's what he saw at 7 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty
Isn't that amazing to hear from a child's perspective that way?
Yes.
All he knew was his smile was amazing, and he was just yeah. That's the first thing that touched him. That's amazing. And his dance, of course.
Yeah.
Aww.
Okay, so everybody, there's the web address, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube. Go and have a look. He does some really great updates, doesn't he, Paul, on his website?
He does. And go and have a look at his YouTube. Those kids are adorable.
Yeah.
Aww.
I want to look.
Definitely look there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to go on to our last interview we did. Last but not least, MJFFC, which is Michael Jackson Fans for Change. Paul, you know about this organization, don't you?
I do. So I did an interview with the MJ Cast a couple of years ago when my book came out, and Steve Hodges, the founder of MJFFC, was on the same episode. And so we both spoke in great detail about Michael's humanitarian efforts. And that's when I first found out about MJFFC. And I had a look into it after I finished the podcast and joined up. And it's so easy. It's you sign up for a $1 a month direct debit. And I'm not sure how many members he's got in the group, but there's a group of people that direct debit $1 a month, and at the end of the month, he puts forward 3 charities, and we all choose which charity we'd like that money to go to, and we do it every month. And that $1 a month, I don't notice coming out of my bank account, but it makes a big difference. And he's helped we've helped a lot of different charities at different times.
Nice.
A very simple, easy project.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Hi, Jeanette. I'm very well. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
So, to everybody watching, Stephen Hodges is the president and founder of Michael Jackson Fans for Change, which is, well, actually, I'm going to ask you, can you tell us what it's all about? We'd love to hear more about it.
Okay, yes. Well, basically, Michael Jackson Fans for Change is a charitable group where we try and get as many fans as possible to give small amounts into a pot. And those are classed as members, monthly members. They contribute monthly to the pot, and they get access to a group where they can vote on the charities and beneficiaries that benefit from the money raised each month.
Right. So, okay. So you have lots of members and they can choose how much to donate?
Yes, right. Yeah. So the idea is we say, let's go for $1, £1 or €1 per month, but you can go more than that if you want to, but the minimum is that. The way we kind of feel it was to work was that the more of those we get, the better, because it's all about low donations, but lots of them. And then it's a much bigger community. There's a lot more input into beneficiaries that we can give to. There's lots more feedback coming in, and people will really feel like part of a massive community. And at the moment, we've got 87 monthly givers, and
Wow.
it's floated. It's gone all over the place. It's a very strange phenomenon, but we've almost breached the 100 consecutive monthly givers. This was over again, like I say, before we came and did the recording, COVID has completely thrown me out. So it was about 2 years ago, probably, we almost hit that threshold, and I think we ended up on 98. And now that's the target to go for. So we're constantly trying to get up there and get into that 100 barrier and break through it and far beyond.
That's amazing. That's really good. And how long is MJFFC? How long has it been going for?
Well, I started doing the charitable side of things in 2009, and it didn't get formed properly until September 2011, and that's when it started, and we did our first donation and fundraiser in September, and back then we raised about £36 for SOS Children's Villages, and since then it's built up over the 10 years, so we were coming up to our 10th anniversary on September this year, and it's been pushing up through £250, £300 per month. And there are some months where it just shoots up. I think there was a month we ended up with 500 because we had a large donation come in. That was great. But yeah, it can fluctuate, you know, and that's why it was good to have a constant amount of members giving regularly, because then you've done, because the work involved in getting the message out there, it does take quite a long time, as you might even know from doing the book club, that to get the message out there, it takes a lot of posts, it takes just a lot of work to do that, to get in front of people's eyeballs so they can see what you're doing. So to have them see you once and then they stick with you for so long just feels a lot easier to having to keep chasing donations every time, because it means then that if you don't do anything for a month and nothing comes in, then you think, well, you know, that's a whole month that we haven't raised much money for. So doing the small amounts means sometimes it's a lot more affordable for people, so they can do this and then they can go and give one-off donations to the larger charities if they want. So and they're free to do however they want to do it, and you can stop instantly. So there's no commitment. It's just a PayPal or a Bax if they don't have PayPal, and they can stop that anytime they want. So yeah, we try to make it as simple as possible. And
that sounds really simple.
As you know, yeah, I mean, as you know, we spoke before this, but I'm a web designer by trade, so I'm constantly trying to make it easier for people to just click the join and then just give one and then go, and then they're done, and then they get their welcome email and they're linked to the group where they can vote.
Yeah, that sounds really simple, you know, and if the minimum regular donation or one-off donation is $1 or £1 or €1, that's really good, because that means it's really inclusive. You know, people's circumstances change. Some people, can't can't afford to donate regularly, but £1, $1, that's doable. That's something that we can do. And what sort of charities do your members vote for? How does that work?
Right, so it does vary, and over the years the voting system has changed to make it as easy as possible for people to choose a beneficiary. And the way we do it is, it depends if there's themes coming up, because sometimes we will time it with a particular month. So it could be mental health awareness, it could be World AIDS Day, that kind of thing. So we'd look in advance, normally a few months before the start of the year, so around December time. I'd look into all of the possible dates. So we'd go through January all the way through to December 2021, for example, for this year. And then we'd label all of the possible events that are happening. And then we'll see when the dates are, because sometimes they'll be at the end of the month, which makes it harder to coordinate. Or if it's the beginning of the month, does it fall into the month before? And then you give in the month that the day is on, you know, so there's those sort of things to weigh up. I look into the various charities and beneficiaries. If we have chosen a theme, so like World AIDS Day, for example, I'd look at some AIDS charities that are helping, and I try and find ones that have a connection to Michael Jackson, because also we know in the past, it was a long time ago, so a lot of these charities, some of them have changed their name or they're no longer functioning, but we try and find a connection. And we have a good one for December this year, which is probably one of my favorites, because it's all tied in with someone that was close to Michael Jackson as well. And that's what we try and do. We try and connect it to his life. So sometimes we used to do donations on Paris Jackson's birthday, and she is an animal lover, so we'd pick an animal charity. and Prince Jackson's birthday, we'd do different things, you know. So it's all, we try and theme it, you know, so there's a bit of a more of a connection, and the fans sort of understand. They go, oh yeah, that was his like, well, actually, yeah, a good example was his drummer,
Jonathan Moffat.
Yes, Moffat. Yes. He had heart issues, didn't he? And I think he had to have a triple bypass or something. He had to have heart surgery, and he was stuck. And you know, it's just being able to have the opportunity to raise money for those that helped Michael in his life. You know, they're not the sort of obvious, you know, they're not charities. They're individuals that need help. You know, and why not return the favor, you know, for all that they've done for Michael in his life? You know, I think it's important for us to, if we're in a position to try and help and return the favor to them and help them out when they need it. So yeah, it does vary.
That's beautiful. Some of the things you just said about connecting it back to Michael's life and the people who are still around today that were part of Michael's life. That's lovely. And it is very much following in his footsteps. It's what he lived his life like. You know, he always helped a friend. Most of the time it was anonymous or, you know, in secret behind the scenes, but he always sought out, you know, kind of situations where he could make a difference. And that's lovely.
Right. And he knew he was in a position that he could just do that, like at the drop of a hat. And that's always the aim, is that at the end of the day, the more money you have, the more you can just do that. And and if it's there at the time, and you're not having to try and raise the money for a specific event, and it's there, because when we first started doing this, we kind of wanted to have a kind of pre-pot, you could call it. So we'd have a bunch of money raised the month before, and then the next month we'd be raising more money, but it means this money is ready to go just like that.
Yeah.
You know, so if we ended up having thousands of members, which would be amazing, you know, we could build up a big enough pot to be able to just go to a GoFundMe, make sure it's all legitimate, and pay for a life-saving operation for a child or for an adult or someone that's been made homeless, you know, through natural disasters. You know, they're the sort of things that would be really amazing to be able to do and to fund, you know. And giving to the big charities is great. It's easy to do, but ultimately I think it's so much better to have more of a personal connection with the people that you're donating to, really. And they often give you better feedback as well, because they're so much more grateful, you know, rather than an automated thing saying thank you, and then you end up getting letters for the rest of your life every month asking for more money, you know. So it's nice to know that what you're giving to has made an immediate impact on that. So the person's been saved, or the well has been built, you know. They're all physical things you can measure, you know, and I think that's really important to who we donate to.
Yeah, wow, that sounds so inspiring. And on that note, you know, how did you come up with the idea? You said 2009, so we know what happened then. I'm assuming that was part of the catalyst.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was just a MJ fan that went to MJ days, bought albums, bought merchandise, loved all of his songs, you know, and even the Earth songs, which incidentally is my favorite, Heal the World, all of those, they're beautiful, you know, but the message never got through. And I think maybe it was my age potentially, so it's probably that's, you know, a lot to do with it. Obviously I was quite a lot younger then. But in 2009, that was the catalyst that really made me think, gosh, you know, this can't be over. You know, all of the stuff that he's done, I know it would continue in his music, but in terms of the humanitarian message, you could go to anyone in the street and say, oh, have you heard of Michael Jackson? He goes, oh yeah, he did Billie Jean and Thriller, didn't he? It's like, well, yeah, but you know, that's like, that's the tip of the iceberg. You know, there's so much more there. And that's what I feel, I guess I was awoken to in 2009. And I actually looked around to see if I could help with existing things. And I did end up coming across the Heal the World Foundation charity back then. And obviously some of your viewers may know that had problems, and it's even to this day, I'm not fully sure how it kind of worked out, but I used to help them. I just emailed them saying, I need to do something. I need to help. Can I help you? And I was helping them with their social networking. And back then it was their MySpace, updating their MySpace page and that kind of thing. And from there, I ended up moving on because they ended up getting into their court proceedings with the MJ estate. And I ended up moving on towards Just Giving, which is a UK, well, you're UK based. But in the UK, there's a site called Just Giving, and you could create your fundraising pages. So I'd generate loads of different fundraising pages for different themes of charity. So there'd be animal charity, there'd be a children's charity, there'd be sort of like different charities that you could donate to. And I set up QR codes so that you could scan with your phone, so you could give £1 via your mobile, and I had all of these in place, and they raised a bit of money, not a massive amount back in when it all started, but then that's when I started thinking I needed to do something a little bit more, what's the word, have a bit more control over it, and have money that I can get people to give that has barely any fees, if any, transaction fees, and make sure that 100%, because that's always been the key. It's always been about 100% of that £1 going to the beneficiary that's been chosen by members. And we've bounced around different donation processing systems. Sometimes they were free, and sometimes they weren't. So then we have to work out how to swallow the fees. So it's kind of evolved all the way, through that kind of thing. So yeah, it's come a long way, and we've been doing this version. Like I say, we're on our 10th anniversary now, so September 2011, and we'll be on our 10th in September. So we'll have to think of, we need some ideas for the September beneficiary for our 10-year anniversary.
Big special one. Have you got an idea in your mind, or do you know that exact figure? How much money have Michael Jackson fans who are part of this raised so far, or do you have an idea how much?
I wrote it down because I'm rubbish at figures. Just under 27,000 over the 10 years. That's not including the bits before 2011. But that wasn't a massive amount, but maybe a few hundred. But yeah, so over the 10 years, about 27. And it was interesting because when I spoke to you before we started recording, when I went to have a quick look at when we started, the donation was, they were like floating around £35 a month, and there were maybe 4 or 5 members. And then it kind of built up, and then throughout the year, I'll have a quick look now, but by the end of the first year that we were active, so if I go back to, so September to December, it was 155, that was 2011, but then we had our first full year, and we started in January at about £60, and then it ended, it peaked at 136, but then ended on 112. So for the whole of December 2012, it was just over £1,000, and then from then in 2013 it was 2,000, and then just over 2,000 in 2014. So it's kind of been up and up and up. But now we're in a kind of we flatlined in a way. We're kind of doing this at the moment, and you've got all the things going on in the world at the moment that people are a little bit worried about finances and stability and that kind of thing, and they're kind of in a different zone and mindset for stuff. So as we approach the end of that, hopefully, touch wood, we'll be able to sort of pick up a bit more and really break through that 100 member barrier. So we've got 13. Quickly do a bit of math. 13. Got 87 at the moment. So yeah, 13 is lucky. That's our lucky number. My wife's lucky number. So by default, I inherit that lucky number. So yeah, 13 is how many we need to break through that 100 barrier.
So if there are 13 inspired people listening today.
Well, hopefully. You never know.
That'd be wonderful.
Hopefully 130.
130. That'd be even better. On that subject, how can our book members get involved today if they've been inspired by what they've heard about the great work that Michael Jackson Fans for Change does? and has been doing all these years, how can they get involved?
It is very easy. You can just head over to our website, mjffc.org. There's a join button in the top right. You click that and you'll get taken through to PayPal. And then you have the option of one. Yeah, I think it defaults to one. So you can choose 7. Obviously, we chose 7, 10, and some other amounts. Or you can give whatever you feel you can give. And all you need to do is pick the monthly option. And once that monthly option is ticked, that enables you to get access to the private group on Facebook where we do voting. So every month we'd shortlist beneficiaries and members. You don't have to. It's not a obligation to do it. Some people just want to have a look to see who's been chosen. But there normally be 2 to 3 charities that are selected. Sometimes for a theme. Other times they could be just random. But normally it's for a particular theme that we'll prepare in advance, and they vote. And they will be given updates in the group as well, feedback from the beneficiary when they've received their money. And we also post, so we do screenshots of the donation, post it on our Facebook page, Instagram, all that sort of thing. So we constantly try and put the stuff out there. Yeah, and Twitter as well, obviously.
So you're on Instagram and Twitter as well?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And it's a case of even if they're not able to give monthly, that's fine. What they can do is just share the posts. I mean, that's obviously a massive help, and like the posts. People don't realise that's actually, it takes seconds to do that, and it doesn't cost anything. So that's a good thing to do if you're not in a financial position to do it. And that's I say, we always try and make sure that 100% of the money goes to the charitable beneficiaries as well that are chosen. And at the moment, it's only PayPal fees that are applicable. And we try and get rid of those as well, because we have a thing called MJFSC guardianship, where individuals or businesses can contribute to the charitable cause, and that money as a guardian gets spent on the things like transaction fees. So we're able to eliminate them, although we still have to pay them. They can get offset by the by the guardianship donations as well. So it's everything as much as we can, even like donations that come in via backs, because you can also do it via backs if PayPal is not an option. We have a UK bank account, and we can take international donations, but sometimes there are fees. We're always chasing where there's no fees, and it's always been difficult. With the 10 years of doing it, we've been all over the place trying to find a system where there isn't any fees, and you just can't. It's just not possible to do that. So the best way to do that is to have a business that sponsors the group, really, that can pay for those sort of things. And we don't have any expenses, so it's just my time doing stuff, and I'm happy to just do it. But we don't have expenses, so there's no payments to come out of that. So literally everything people give just goes into the pot, and then at the end of the month we pick the winner based on the most votes.
Amazing. That's so simple. I love it. It's so simple, it's effective, it's really inclusive to all the fans, because even if you're a 12-year-old fan still in school, if you're a student at university, you can just like the page, you can follow on Instagram, you can follow on Twitter, you can retweet, you can donate $1, £1. It can be PayPal or backs, so you can stop at any time. All those flexible ways to be a part of this really cool movement. Stephen, it's been wonderful and inspiring to hear.
Thank you.
And we will do a special post to mark the 25th of all Michael Jackson's living legacy with this humanitarianism, and we'll definitely include all of the details, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook, the website, so that our members can find out about those things. So
that's great.
Thank you for giving your time and being here. And come and join the book club too.
Yes. I've got so many Michael Jackson books. I'm just getting round to sort of packing my first one. But I made it. I'm not a book reader. It's so bad. And I've always said this, and I've said this on the MJ Cast episode as well, that I've got so many Michael Jackson books, and I've barely read any. And the one that I got the furthest in, actually, I've read. Okay, I'll be honest. I think I've read Moonwalk.
That's the best one to read.
That's because it's so old, because I've had so much time to do it. But at the moment, I'm on Earth Song. I think it's Joseph Vogel, who did the Earth Song?
Yeah.
Yes, and I think, it's that thick, so really it'd be embarrassing if I couldn't get through that one. And Earth Song is my favorite Michael Jackson song, so it's kind of like it's calling out to me, that one. So I will.
You have to read that. It's a great book, and I think there's some really good reviews on the book club about that book too.
Okay.
But there's interviews and all of that, so you don't have to be a book reader. We have lots of different members, and there's a health warning that if you do join the book club, it can get kind of expensive, because there's so many good books. Like you said, they're never ending. So
well, I have to join. I have to join the members of our group that are also members of yours, because I think we ended up realizing that about 6 or 7 of your members are giving monthly as well to MJFFC.
Oh,
so
great.
I'll have to jump in there and say hi to a lot of them. So
definitely.
Good. I'll have to do that.
It'll be a great link up. Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, and we'll hope to speak to you again soon. When you've read this song.
Yeah. So I'll see you next year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Bye. Bye.
Amazing. Like, really, $1 is nothing. You don't even notice it.
It's so easy. It's so simple.
Yeah. And $25,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And just by simply a little $1 a day, a month, I should say.
And I also love that the beneficiaries, the control of the beneficiaries comes back to all the members. If you're donating, you get to vote on where this goes. So you really have a say. It can be someone different every month. It's not always the same people that you want to invest in and help. It can change all the time.
And it makes an impact right away. Like he's saying, it's somebody directly impacted.
Yeah, and I know with MJFFC, when something big happens, a tragedy happens, that's what we'll concentrate on that month. Like this month, it could be the Miami thing, what's happening there, and it'll go to something current and relevant. So it's really good.
Amazing.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking of is how this particular project concentrates on that other side of Michael's humanitarianism, which is about spontaneous reaching out a hand.
Yes.
To grab hold of somebody who's in distress. Because I wrote down some notes from their website. Listen to these names, and these are real human beings you'd see meet on the street. Amelia, baby Olivia, Aaron, Samantha. These are the names of children and adults that have been helped with healthcare through MJFFC contributing to their GoFundMe funds, to help them with their healthcare. And Stephen and his team are going out and they're looking for people who are desperate for, kidneys, cancer treatment. And he's putting that to his members, and he's saying, shall we give to baby Olivia this month, or should we give to the orangutans? And and then the fans are thinking, right, well, the orangutans are going to be there next month. Let's sort out baby Olivia. And it's just like, that is what Michael did.
Yes.
It's great.
Bella Farkas, he did that sort of thing.
He did, yeah. And Paul, your work, uncovering a lot of that, behind the scenes giving has been great for us fans, educating us, because obviously we can't rely on the press to know about this stuff. Not that Michael would have wanted that, but now it's forever documented by you in your book.
Humanitarian is an absolutely must-have for your library. To see everything. It's we've had an interview with Paul before, but it's a book. It's who in this world can you write a book about his humanitarian efforts? And it's a thick book.
That is a
documentary. Like there's nobody else that you can do that with, you know?
And I feel like it's working. I feel like the conversation is happening more often now. And people are, you know, mockumentaries might come and go and the press and media hype might come and go. But I think the conversation about his humanitarianism is happening more now. It's more often now. People are talking about it now, and have been for the last couple of years. So I'm really happy because that was my mission when I put the book together.
Well, you are the expert on his humanitarian efforts. You know, every act of kindness he did, you compiled it, you investigated it. You have been asked by the estate to help with that sort of, with Taj, I believe, to help him with that, because those are things that the world needs to focus on.
Well, now we're all experts. You've got the book, you're an expert too.
Yeah, we read a lot, but I mean, I would have never known of all of those.
Right.
No.
No.
And there's more. I'm still being contacted by people that say, "Hey, can you revise the book? Because I've got a story for you."
You should write another one for another edition.
Yes.
Maybe.
That would be neat to see more. I mean, I'm sure there's more. Of course, there's more that would come out. You know.
There's a lot more.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm just going to put this back up just to give a shout out then to everybody who's just been watching. Michael Jackson Fans for Change. You can find them on Facebook. They've got a really simple, informative website. They're on Twitter, and we follow them on Twitter. So check them out. And if 13 book club members just sign up for $1 or £1 or €1 on PayPal, or you can do backs, then MJFFC will reach 100 members. And with a growing, you know, up to 87 members, they managed to raise £27,000 over the last, you know, kind of decade. So look what they can do if more members join. It's a fantastic, simple tribute to Michael, and it's doing great stuff. So Stephen deserves all the support, and you know, we thank him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MJFFC. To this day, it's such a hard day, and it's like today I feel like it's, you know, uplifting just to hear of all that, the impact and the change that people are doing, and you know, making a point of trying to make the change in the world. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Before we close off, we just wanted to give a shout out to two other amazing projects. I nearly got to interview this lady, Laura, Heal the World for Children Spain. Paul, do you know anything about this? Putting you on the spot?
I don't.
No. It was I had
a quick look into it yesterday, but no.
Yeah, they've got a really active Facebook group, and Laura and I, the founder, we just didn't get the right time to meet, but we promised to meet up soon in the future, so we will upload that interview along with the other ones so everybody can learn about this. And I recommend, you know, all the Spanish fans, we got a lot of Spanish book club members. If you don't know about your homegrown Michael tribute, go check it out and get involved. Follow and like them on Facebook. And then we can't have a stream without talking about Heal LA.
Yes.
Heal Los Angeles Foundation.
Yes.
Does anybody want to give their thoughts about Prince's amazing project?
I've got a feeling they've got some big things coming up. They've just announced a whole heap of new ambassadors, including Paris and Latoya and Chris Tucker, and who else is there? Liam. I think they're working on some massive things in the next year, and I think we're going to see some really exciting things. They're already doing really, really good things, but I think we're going to see an expansion, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. We'd love to speak with Heal LA as well.
Yeah, you know, they've done so much in their short life already. You know, again, things that Michael did in his lifetime, Christmas presents to local kids and a Christmas party. I think that was one of their first projects, wasn't it?
Thriller Halloween at Encino.
Yeah, that seems to be an annual event, which is looking amazing. And then the COVID pandemic has really, you know, got Heal LA so busy. They've just been amazing community champions. And the wonderful thing about Heal LA, and it shares something in common with Happy's project, Heal the World Miracle Community Organization in Uganda, is that it's grassroots. You know, the young people involved with Prince's, you know, John Muto, the other founder, and all their college friends, and they are local Los Angeles. How do you say it, Sherry? Los Angelians. You know, they are young people from that community, the wider community, but you know, the city, and they are, you know, getting involved with local schools and local churches. We saw pictures of Prince giving out food, you know,
during the pandemic. Yes,
during the pandemic, yeah, with his mask on, just getting stuck in, sleeves rolled up. You know, we all were we were there with him in spirit. We're so proud, weren't we?
Yes.
And Paul, you just mentioned the ambassador scheme, which looks really exciting. So I'm so excited to see what they're going to do. And you get some good prizes if you get involved in their raffle. Yeah, like you get signed Michael stuff, T-shirts. We love T-shirts.
They got some great merch.
Well, it's just amazing to me that they, you know, they credit their dad the way, you know, Michael, you know, raised them to be, you know, you hear about that. He brought them all over the world to see, you know, parts of the world that were not privileged, and that's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love the idea, you know, obviously Michael had Heal the World, and this is Heal Los Angeles, which is based on Michael's message of if you can't change the whole world, start in your own backyard. You know, look at the man in the mirror. So if you can do something in your own neighborhood and start in your own backyard, do that. And I think that's the message. If everyone was doing that, what a wonderful world it would be.
Exactly. Right.
Yes.
Well said, Paul.
Yeah, well said. I think that's how we can leave that one. So if you don't already, Instagram, they're on Twitter as well, Facebook. They're really amazing. And you know, lastly, we're a book club, and we want to, you know, pay tribute to you, Paul, for firstly joining us this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Paul, you're up very early. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's nice
I think
to
we're
see you.
representing all the meal times of the world right now, aren't we? We've got some breakfast people, we've got some dinner time people. Yeah, Paul, your book is fantastic. I think we all have copies here, don't we, guys?
Yes, oh, yeah. We do.
Yeah. Like Sammy said earlier, it's a staple. You know, check it out. Your website's amazing too. I think you've got some merch as well. I think I've seen a humanitarian T-shirt.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, there's some out there somewhere. I created that like 2 years ago. I haven't really done much with it, but it's on the website, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been busy.
Well, I've shared your documentary today on my personal Facebook page, and I think that would be great if people would share the documentary at least, or where to get the book, because it really does show him in a completely different light than we see another. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I watch it this every year. This on today, and
that's why I'm going to watch it again.
Have a bit of a cry.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I almost feel compelled to like buy copies of this book and like leave them on the train and things for people to just pick up, you know, because this is the book that we want out there about Michael.
Yes.
You know? forget the biographies and all of that. This is the one.
Yes.
So,
I'm really excited to tell you guys that Catherine Jackson's got a copy now too.
Ooh, exciting. Tell us how that happened.
Yeah, so through Taj, he gave her a copy and she loved it.
Oh,
yeah.
That just melted my heart. I was so happy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I must. Oh my goodness. For her
That is beautiful.
Her child that she raised. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Oh, Paul. That's amazing, Paul.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's sweet.
I'm speechless about that. That's amazing.
Thank you, Taj. Right? Like, wow.
Yeah. Wow.
And, you guys probably know there's a humanitarian episode in Taj's project that'll be all about this subject. So you haven't heard the last from us.
No.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that.
That is very exciting. So I think Siren said it earlier on in her interview. This looks like a good year for Michael, and all of these things that we just talked about, definitely things are looking up. Where we've been as a fan community over the last couple of years, things are looking up, and it's thanks to people like you, Paul, with your work, your meticulous research. Even if you've got to keep updating it, because Michael keeps keeping you working with all his good deeds.
And I think it's incredible that your background is in law, like you're in law school, so you're taught how to research things thoroughly, and it shows in your book how it's just these are the facts. They're all facts.
Right.
100%.
Exactly.
Can't make out that stuff.
I know there's a lot to be said about the estate too. I also think there's some exciting things coming up with them, with Prince joining the team and Tom Mesereau. That can only mean good things for them.
Yeah.
Yes, we all have our ideas. It's like, whoa, it feels like something's happening for sure. It's exciting.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think that's a good point to wrap it up on, and thank you all for being here, watching with us, and again, thanks for your patience with the technical issue. Paul, thank you for being here all the way. What time is it now? 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
No, it's 8 o'clock now. It's time to get out of bed now.
Time for coffee.
Time for another coffee. Thanks for inviting me. It's really nice to see you guys and to talk to you again.
Yeah, always nice to see you.
Yes.
You're a blessing.
Yeah. Okay, and thank you, Sherry, for your amazing clips you showed us at the beginning. That was beautiful to go back to the early days and see where it all began for Michael's humanitarianism.
Right.
Amazing. I've never seen those clips before.
No, thank you. All right, well, good day, good night, good evening, everyone. And
all the charity links on the social media out there.
Yep, we'll put it all up. And thank you all for being with us.
Okay.
And don't forget, if you
live the King's
free, we want
legacy.
a picture. Sorry, Paul?
I said, long live the King's legacy.
Yes.
Long live it.
Most
Yeah.
definitely. Yes.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.